When I was a kid, in addition to playing with dolls, I played with blocks, and I played with erectosets, and I built bridges, and I built buildings. And I consider myself a builder. I'm happiest going to Home Depot and buying my wood because I know I'm going to get it into my studio and I'm going to be turning it into something. Nothing gives me more pleasure. I start with drawings and with small figures generally. So, for instance, this can be a small figure that turns into a larger sculpture. And in fact, this little figure is it is part of a sculpture that I've done in a small scale, but also part of the piggyback piece where the woman is standing on top of the man. This was the basis for the man. And then I do drawings. And the drawings will help me plan out how many pieces of wood I need to buy and what heights I have to begin at. And then I'll actually apply the scale to them so that these lines represent the 4x4s that I'm going to buy. These are already together and will become the beginning of the legs. That's the basic structure. I won't be, I'll take these off probably later today, and I won't work on this until I actually get the casters because I don't want it to have too much weight. I obviously use a lot of wood, which is my favorite, and I'll save it in bags of pieces, types of pieces, so that, you know, I'll have straight pieces. So I'll have pieces that are wedges, I'll have pieces that are straight, I'll have long wedges. So this wedge can become foot, it could become a hand, it could become a fill-in somewhere, because most of the pieces are solid. They're quite heavy. They're for, you know, anywhere from 250 pounds and up. Oh, jeez. This piece, which I don't know how much it weighs, but it is not light, because I can tell by pushing it. It takes effort. On the casters, I could take it anywhere. So I need it to be anywhere. I need to be able to walk around it. I started working with logs, but I couldn't handle them. They're too heavy. I don't have a pulley system. I actually cut pieces off. You can see here, this piece, I sawed off so that I could use it for the backside of a piece of sculpture, or I've used it for an arm or a leg or the calf or something, so that these logs are part of the sculpture. Here, you can actually see the section of the log that I cut off. So here, this is a combination of 4x4s, of flat pieces of wood, just boards and logs. I don't like a smooth surface. It just signals something that doesn't feel true to me. The wood has a texture, a life of its own that is not smooth. It can be made smooth, but I like the fact that it can be so raw. It can be ripped and torn and carved, so to see the natural grain. That grain goes in this direction, then it goes in this direction, then it goes in this direction. It doesn't want to work with you. It has a will of its own. It's just not important to me to have a very finished looking product. The more finished a product is, the more boring it is for me. In general, I would have to say that I don't like explicit art. I like to use my imagination. I don't like to be told the whole story. I like to be part of the story. I like to invent it. And I like to give other people the opportunity to invent. I see women as phenomenally strong. I see them as a force. It brought to mind to me an army. It brought to mind, warriors out there to establish a place for themselves in the world. They're standing alone, together, defiant, strongly planted on the earth. Their legs are apart. They're boring into life. They are taking on the world. And that's what my warrior women are there to represent, this power of women.